What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package, and infrastructure update, and daily news report. Now, we have some stuff that we need to cover because we're getting to that day. Today is supposed to be the day where we see all the finalized text of the $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill. I don't know if we're going to see it all today, but we've seen a decent amount of it so far. Here's what we're going to talk about today. We now know that Senate Democrats want to see a $1,000 voucher right away, and this is going to go to seniors. We also know that they're pushing for more money to go out to the American people. However, it's somewhat of a roundabout way, so I'm going to address that in a second. We also know that Democrats are fighting for more benefits. They want to be very strategic as to who they provide these benefits for, not only because it's going to help out the economy, we want to limit inflation, but Democrats want to see that they're benefiting those that hopefully will vote for them in this next midterm. There's a lot of stuff we got to go over, but let's get into it. First, Senator Bernie Sanders says he wants to bridge the gap to provide additional benefits now. He does not want to wait and provide benefits to people on Medicare in a year, 2 years, and in 6 years down the road. He wants to provide benefits today. He says, and I quote, "In terms of the $1,000 voucher, what we want to do is make sure that people understand the significance. So as a bridge, I think what we're looking at here is $1,000 right away. Use that to go to the dentist if you cannot afford to go. That's very temporary, but maybe a bridge for a year." He says maybe for a year. However, this is something that experts say could take a little bit of time. The current timeline for these programs normally takes years to implement, especially with Medicare. But by providing an upfront payment to seniors, a $1,000 voucher, what happens there is they can utilize this money to pay for whatever services and benefits they want. Here's the other thing. And again, this is something that I want to bring to your attention because this is something that I haven't seen any other media outlets cover. But when they give you a $1,000 voucher, it does not mean you have to spend $333 on dental, $333 on vision, and $333 on hearing. You do not have to break it up that way. Many seniors do not have issues with, let's say, vision or hearing or dental, okay? Now, most need dental work, but does that mean they need to go and get dentures? No. So what we are seeing, and the things that have been brought up by a few of you guys, is that what would the $1,000 be used for? Does it have to be split evenly between those three things? The answer is no. It's no. If let's say you only need glasses and you need dentures. Well, if your hearing's fine, then you do not need to spend any money on hearing. Go and get yourself a pair of glasses and get yourself, let's say, some dentures, or get some dental work done. So you can use that $1,000, accordingly as you see fit. It does not have to be split evenly. And so that was what many people asked. I looked into that, and no, it is not evenly split at $333.33 for every single service. So good news there. Now, just giving you an idea how long some of these different programs take. Okay, when Medicare was expanded back in 2003, I believe under former President Bush, it took about 3 years. 3 years for Medicare to cover prescription drugs. Now, this is something that took 3 years to implement. That's how slow it is. That's how time-consuming this is. Well, when Obamacare was signed into law, it actually took 4 years to get it through, to get it all set up. So no, these things are not quick. They take a little bit of time. And this is something that Democrats say they don't have time to wait on. We need to provide assistance today. This should have been in the works years ago. However, it isn't and it wasn't, so we got to do it now. One thing I do want to explain, though, when it comes to this benefit, one of the reasons why Democrats are pushing for additional benefits for seniors, number one, they need it. But number two, and this is a big boost, is actually it benefits them when they go to vote, because seniors are more likely to vote than the younger groups. So because of that, it really helps them. But let's get into President Biden's child tax credit payments, because as of right now, they are still being discussed. I told you guys yesterday, they were already pushing to see this extended through 2025. That's still true. However, that's still up for debate. And I want to explain why. The first thing that you need to understand, Senator Joe Manchin is still pushing. Okay, he's still pushing. He wants this a work requirement in order to receive these benefits. It's understandable why. However, and he says, a tax credit should only be given to those that have tax liabilities. If you do not work, you do not have a tax liability. But multiple Democrats say that they are not accepting this push because, and tying this to a work requirement because that's not the way it should be done. It is actually going to hurt the lowest income earners or people that are not currently working just because of this one requirement. So yes, it could save billions of dollars, but at the same time, it would hurt the American people and the economy more than it would save us. Even a spokesperson for Senator Bennett, they actually had this to say, and I quote, he believes punishing the poorest children in America because their family's income is too low to qualify them for the child tax credit is self-defeating and incredibly compromising to them and to our nation's future, which it is. It would hurt the lowest income earners, the lowest income families. They wouldn't be able to get this benefit. And so if you just put in a work requirement, do you have to work in order to get this? Okay, great. Well, I worked, right? You self-attest that yes, I worked. I did lawns. They paid me under the table. Does that count? Do you have to get a W-2? And if you get a W-2, how much is the work requirement? What is the base? What's the minimum income you have to make in order to get a child tax credit payment? If you just need to earn $1, many people could do that. But if you need to earn, let's say $500 a month, right? You need $6,000 at the end of the year, or else you don't qualify for this. That hurts those that are paid the lowest income earners. That really negatively impacts them. So that's one of the things that Democrats right now say, this is not going to happen. And according to Senator Bernie Sanders, he had this to say, and I quote, my own personal view is that would be counterproductive to the children who need help the most. And yeah, it is, because it would definitely punish those families. But here's the problem, and the problem still remains the same. Senator Joe Manchin believes that having a work requirement will actually ensure that federal assistance goes to the right people. He has said this multiple times. I want to explain why this is so important. Because money is going out to the right people. Stimulus has to go to the right people. And this has been his stance from the beginning. This was why the stimulus checks were given to less people for the $1,400 payments than who actually received the $1,200 and $600 payments. Because Senator Joe Manchin opposed who actually was receiving them based on the income limits. He also pushed to change unemployment benefits. Remember, it was $400 per week, and he said, no, let's do $300 per week. And instead of ending on the end of August, let's go the first week of September. Those were his wishes, and he got his wish. But progressives, they seem open to the idea of giving in to Senator Joe Manchin at this time. According to reports, progressives say that two main voting groups will be taken care of. Those are families and seniors. Two groups. Seniors make up a very large portion of voters, so this could really help them out in the midterm. And families, they are going to remember what Democrats did to them. That's what we're hearing right now. What experts are saying is that taking these two groups will most likely help them in the midterm. But will it be enough to give Democrats another possibly 10 seats in the Senate? They say no, probably not. But you never know. We'll have to just wait and see. What I can tell you, though, is when progressives are saying, hey, let's give in to Senator Joe Manchin, what he's asking for here, if progressives give in to Senator Joe Manchin, the idea of getting a fourth stimulus check is pretty much thrown out the window. We will not see a fourth stimulus check if, okay, and in the normal sense of stimulus, right? Could we see the child tax credit payments, which is another form of a stimulus check? Yes. Could we see an earned income tax credit payment done in a monthly fashion, kind of like the child tax credits? Yes, we could. But the normal sense of a stimulus check, that's most likely out the window as of right now. So I just want to be honest with you guys, be upfront that, yeah, there's still a possibility, but it's a very small possibility right now. things are not looking so great. But like I mentioned over the past couple months, progressives have alluded to the fact that they are going to push for a stimulus check, but when this bill is almost finalized, because they don't want the bill to be, or the stimulus checks to be pulled out. But again, there has to be money for it. So progressives are siding with Senator Joe Manchin in some senses, in some of these instances. It's going to be tough to find the funding for a possible fourth stimulus check. But again, we'll see. Also, as of this morning, we're still waiting to hear back from the Senate parliamentarian regarding whether progressives can include their immigration provision into the reconciliation bill. If it doesn't pass the Byrd rule, and it doesn't affect the federal budget, it cannot be included into a budget reconciliation bill. But on Friday, both Democrats and Republicans actually pitched their ideas and explained why or why not this immigration provision should or should not be included into the budget reconciliation bill. Yesterday, the Senate parliamentarian also asked for additional information as well, so she is still trying to debate this and figure out whether it should or should not be included, and it all comes down to her. According to experts and according to the White House officials, they actually will not overturn the Senate parliamentarian's decision. So if Democrats do not get this included, they're not going to go and fight her on this, at least according to the reports. Now, the other thing that we know regarding Social Security benefit, the average increased benefit next year, if the cost of living adjustment is between 5.9 and 6.3%, is going to be between $88 and $100. What we know right now is, according to estimates, the cost of living adjustment is going to be only 5.9%. Just, I think like a month ago, or maybe even less than that, the estimates were about 6.2 to 6.3%. The reason for this was because of inflation. However, and I addressed this the other day, yesterday we saw the CPI data come out, and inflation is not looking as bad as many people were expecting. So because of that, the cost of living adjustment would actually come down accordingly. So right now, based off our recent slide in inflation numbers, the estimate is anywhere between 5.9% and 6.1%, which means we'll see a payment increase of about $88 to $96 per month. That's what we're seeing right now. So again, we are seeing some changes, but as we see these changes, I promise I will fill you in on all the updates on everything that we're seeing. So again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one. See you guys on the next one. See you guys on the next one.